sweet and sour chicken.
We know about sardine, mackerel, chicken neck, chicken back. Nothing I waste, nothing I dash way.
You're gonna choose between chicken breast or chicken thighs. So if you're a dark meat person, go with the thighs. If you're a white meat person, go with the chicken breast. I'm using here the dark meat, which is a chicken thigh, boneless and skinless. That's how I bought it, and there's minimal fat on there. I already washed this with some water and vinegar, because you know the thing said I always have to wash my meat. First thing you want to do is to cut this into nice bite size. So lengthwise 1 inch and width 1/2 inch. So this is 5 chicken thighs that I'm using. I'm gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of that all-purpose seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Lastly, I want to add to this 1 finely chopped Scotch bonnet pepper. Put on the gloves, don't follow me, and rub it in. For those at home saying, Scotch bonnet pepper, this is sweet and sour chicken, not sweet and spicy. Listen, Scotch bonnet pepper in your fried chicken elevates the flavor to a different level. I'm going to take about 5 pieces from this and reserve for later on. So do this overnight, and I guarantee you, you'll get a bursting of flavor out of your chicken. Set this aside while we work on the other ingredients. So here I have a pineapple that has already been washed, right? The center of the pineapple goes straight into our pot, as well as the peels. White onion, this is washed as well. Let's cut that into sections, drop it in. With the skin on, it provides more flavor. So I have 1 carrot here and the heads of 3. You're gonna add that right in. That will wash the skin of the carrot just the same, but we're gonna keep the peels, drop them in. Gonna go in with some dried thyme leaf, about 1 teaspoon. Last piece of scallion in my fridge, just wanna use it up. Gonna go in with that as well. 1 whole tomato cut into quarters. A finger-sized piece of ginger. 2 garlic cloves. Gonna add 4 cups of water to that, or just enough to cover vegetables. Gonna season to taste with 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna put our stove on high heat just to allow this to come to a boil, and we'll reduce that to medium heat and allow it to cook for 30 minutes to 1 hour. While this is reducing, we're frying the chicken and we're prepping our vegetables. Forward to the stove top, show you what go on. So you remember that 5 pieces of chicken that we reserved? We're gonna add that right in. So allow that to boil with everything, and that will give us that original chicken flavor from the get-go. You know what I say? I'm gonna use 1/4 of that pineapple. I'm gonna cut this into nice small squares. I'm gonna go in with 2 carrots, 1/4 of a red bell pepper. Gonna cut that down into 3 equal pieces, and just cut these into nice little squares. 1 small white onion. Gonna cut this into 3. Cut that into 2. Don't want these small. And then into 3. You want to set onto your stove now about 2.5 cups of oil to heat up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, because this is the time when we're going to start working on the breading for the chicken and get them deep fried and ready to go. So to start our batter off, we're going to go in with 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and pepper mix and 1 cup of 2% milk. But we use the flour and the milk. Reason being, we need that batter to be thick. So the thicker the batter, the more flour it can hold onto the chicken thighs. And also we add milk instead of water, because the milk will help us to get a nice golden brown look cook on our chicken. Now if you are lactose intolerant, you can go ahead and use the water and the flour mix just the same and add paprika to this mixture to get a more golden brown looking chicken. Now for the breading, we have here 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to go in with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. What the cornstarch does in this process is to help our chicken to be nice and crunchy, so that when we coat that with our sweet and sour sauce, the chicken doesn't get soggy, because who wants fried chicken that's very soggy? No one. A bit of salt and pepper, using half a teaspoon here in the flour. Alright, here comes our chicken again, nicely marinated. It's been over half an hour now, so we're gonna go in with half the amount of our chicken into our flour. Just gonna coat that with the flour, and by doing this, you allow butter to stick to the chicken easier. Go in with both hands, don't be shy. Just gonna toss those through your fingers just to get the excess flour off. So like that, perfect. You get a dry clean container, we drop them on and repeat. So everything is coated and ready to go. So we're going to go in quarter the amount in the batter, and we don't use half this time because we don't want to overcrowd this and get them all clumped up, right? Just going to use one hand at this point and just get everything fully coated. See how nicely coated those are? That's what you want. Drain the excess off and back into our flour. Just try to separate them as much as possible. Scatter them all over. And we do this in small portions so that our breading doesn't become lumpy, right? Just going to use the dry hand now, and we're going to bread those. Kind of press it down to get those nicely coated with the flour, right? Just shake the excess off like that and add it into a clean dry container. And we're going to repeat this process until all our chicken are ready to go. Now we're going to start frying. Our oil is nice and hot. Just roll them on the end of the pot like this to prevent yourself from getting burnt. And here, we don't want to separate the breading from the chicken, right? So we don't toss this around until about a minute and a half thereabout. So a minute has passed, and now we can go ahead and move it around without worrying about getting our breading off. So we're going to fry this for about 6 to 7 minutes, get them nice and crunchy and juicy on the inside. Going to remove these, nice and crunchy. These will reach the color that you want them to be as they sit, right? Let's put them on some paper towel to absorb the excess oil. We're gonna strain all of that. Squeeze those tomatoes. Get everything out, all that juice. See that color? Like pineapple juice. That's what you're looking for. So for the sauce now we need half cup of white vinegar, half tablespoon of cornstarch. Now I'm gonna add a bit here, just to mix that cornstarch out. And we'll add it in here, just so it doesn't get lumpy, right? Now we're gonna add that back into this vinegar. So we got no lumps, right? Nice. We're gonna add half cup of granulated sugar, half teaspoon of salt and half teaspoon of pepper, half cup of tomato ketchup. That is what we're gonna get all that color from. In my hot skillet, I'm gonna go in with about 2 tablespoons of oil and half teaspoon of crushed garlic. Then I'm gonna add my white onions and then my carrots. So saute the onions first with the carrots to release the excess flavor from them. If you have a coil stove like I do, keep this on number 5 because you don't want to burn these. I'm gonna go in with a bit of salt and pepper mix, not even a quarter of a spoon, just a bit, to help elevate the flavor of our onions. Now these are nice and translucent. We're gonna add our veggies. Alright, we're gonna turn up our heat now to medium high, and then in goes our chicken pineapple broth. We're going to allow this to come to a boil, and then we're going to add that ketchup mixture. We're going to go in with that ketchup mixture and watch how instantaneously the color changes. That cornstarch is going to serve as our thickening agent. We're going to go straight in with our chicken. We just use half the amount of that chicken, and there you have it. How to prepare sweet and sour chicken here on Morris Time Cooking It. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and do remember to hit that subscribe button for more amazing videos like these. Until next time, safe travel on the gravel, and go and big up on yourself.